Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday to you. This is Jonathan van Clute with Stock Navigators, and we're going to talk about the markets this morning. It is November 6th. It is election day. Midterm elections are today, so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out in the markets. Personally, I'm expecting a good potential for some volatility today. I kind of feel like the last couple of days, the market is very unsure of what's coming, what's going to happen. And I feel like today could be a big deal. Could be a really good day for day trading. Could be some really good intraday volatility, intraday swings. So I'm looking forward to seeing if that in fact plays out. So first, as always, please do subscribe if you like these videos. Please give us a like on the video just to help us out on YouTube, and leave me a comment. If you're in the chat, say hello. Would love to hear from you if you're here live, not just watching the replay, or if you're in the Discord room. We've already been talking in there. And just tell us what you want more of, what you'd like us to do. If there's any other instruments you'd like us to analyze or anything like that, we would love to hear from you. So with that, let's take a look at our friend the S&P 500. So as I mentioned, last few days it's been kind of just going sideways, hanging out here, trying to figure out what it wants to do. It did retrace to the 38.2% of this big down move. So I feel like it's poised to do something, to either come down. I talked about this yesterday, but either to come down and make a higher low. Whoops, my pen is not set the way I want it. Hang on one second here. I want my disappearing ink. There we go. And I want it on white. All right. So it is, come on. There we go. It's kind of poised to either come down, make a higher low, and then give us a higher high, or possibly even break for a third leg down. We've already had one, we've had two. A third leg down would not at all be out of the question or unprecedented. In fact, it would be pretty standard for that to happen. But it remains to be seen if it will. The election definitely throws a big unknown factor into the works. Anything could happen depending on the results there. I mean, we saw during the presidential election, if you remember that, the insane reversal, crazy swings that happened there when it was obvious that Trump was actually going to win. Everything kind of flipped out, and it was a very, very volatile time. So I don't necessarily think that today is going to be as extreme as that, but I do think we could see some definite action going on today. We have broken below the uptrend line here. So that is potentially bearish, but we're kind of flirting with it. So I wouldn't say it's a decisive break. I feel like it's just waiting. Now on this move down here from a few days ago, we have retraced. We've retraced back to the 61.8. So we've gotten to a really healthy retrace level there, and again, are just like over here on the larger time frame, but on the smaller time frame now, we're kind of poised to either come down and make a higher low. Um, I mean, and who knows? Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the low of the day right here. We'll have to see once the market actually gets moving. But make a higher low and then a higher high, or maybe just plain roll over and look to make lower lows than here. So really critical point right now. We do, of course, have some support right down below. Whoops. We've got the buy zone down here. So we do have that acting as support, but support like that can get blown right through if there's some outside influence, like everybody freaking out over a particular election result or something like that. So to the upside, of course, we've got the sell zone overhead here and the larger one there. So just potentially a volatile day. If you're not up for volatility, if that's not really your thing, or it scares you, you don't feel that you're ready for it, etc., then maybe stand aside today. Nothing wrong with that. It's absolutely perfectly reasonable to stand aside if you don't feel that the markets are setting up in a way that is conducive to your trading style, to what you're prepared to do. So if you want to wait and see how it all shakes out and wait for a trend direction to be firmly established and then jump on board, that's completely okay. Right now, Navigator is trending down on the short term, trending up on the long term. So we've got an interesting opposite conflicting signals here. Just depends on what kind of trader you are. If you're an intraday trader, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of opportunity today. Now let's take a look at crude, which is just going sideways, really, but it's sort of slowing down. I had this big descent here, and now it's starting to kind of gently hook around. I feel like it's wanting to just sort of participate in this zone for a little while. We are Navigator still trending down. It's going lower, 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 and it's starting to get close to the area where I'd be a little concerned that it's a tad oversold. But check out the short term on a 60-minute. We've basically, oh, that was supposed to be a straight line, but not with my trackpad here. There we go. That's a little better. So we've kind of double bottomed here. And look at the Navigator. Look how much higher the Navigator is there. So right now, that is potentially very bullish. We've got a divergent Navigator. It even actually did manage to peak above the zero line a little tiny bit, not real strong. So that doesn't overly excite me. But the fact that we've had one push into the sell zone fail, two pushes into the sell zone fail, double bottom, I feel like a third push and possibly break of that sell zone is quite possible. At which point a pullback to retest it as support would be pretty standard. And then that would give you a really good potential entry point to the long side with your stop just outside the zone, something like that. So watch for a break of the box. Of course, the top of the box is overlapping with that line there, so kind of hard to see, but there it is. So, you can watch for that, which happens to coincide with a break of the sell zone here. And that would be a good indication that maybe it's time to get on board with the bullish direction in the short term. Longer term daily chart, of course, we got to get out of this zone. We're stuck in this buy zone here, and that could go sideways for a little while as accumulation happens, and then maybe we pop to the upside and get a break. Unless obviously some other event happens, something political with oil. Typically, it's something political, in which case we go, break down. But right now, you're just basically waiting and watching for a break to the upside or the downside. I don't see any real obvious trade opportunity right this instant. We did break below, below this. There we go, upturning trend line. But we're also still below the descending trend lines, pair of them. So, and of course the 21 EMA. So a lot of overhead resistance, wanting to push crude lower, but there's a decent chance that it goes sideways for a while longer yet as well. So just got to keep an eye on those levels. And again, same thing. If you're an intraday trader, you're looking for a hold of this bottom or a break to the upside. Gold is just going sideways. There's really no change to the tune in gold. The song I've been singing every day is just stuck in this area here, and that's what it is. I added volume to this chart because I wanted to point something else out too. The participation lately is a lot of below average volume. This is a 21-day average on the volume, and it's just not that. There's not that much excitement in gold. Not a ton of volume, not a lot happening. It's just kind of cruising along, not doing much. Even on this huge day, up day here, volume was just a tiny bit above average. It wasn't crazy huge. So I don't know. Gold, there's just I don't know if it's uncertainty. Everybody's just kind of waiting on the sidelines to wait to see what happens. But right now, gold is kind of in a holding pattern. Intraday, I mean, you could sort of call this. Whoops, there we go. Call that kind of a descending trend, but it's so slight. There isn't really any clear trend direction at all. It's pretty much just stuck in this range. So, which is basically what we've been seeing here for the last few days. So gold really, it's hard to say what it wants to do right now. Basically, if you're a bear, you're looking for a takeout of these lows here. If you're a bull, you're looking for a takeout of those highs there. Short-term Navigator has gone green and it's trending up nicely, and long-term Navigator is holding green. So there are definitely some bullish forces holding gold up, but the Navigator is very low right now, and again, with the election situation happening and any shocks to the market to the downside could all of a sudden send people to participate in gold in a much bigger way, and maybe that pushes gold up above this channel that it's been stuck in, and maybe we see another push upwards with gold. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see how things shake out today. Typically, and it's likely that we'll start to get an idea of the direction of that things are going to want to take today by the first couple of hours of the market. But again, an election day could change things. It's hard to say what's going to shape up today. So just be careful, keep your stops reasonable, and just be prepared for things to turn on a dime. Bitcoin also just kind of singing the same tune. We did have another of these little mini shocks and then just kind of sideways, but they're getting smaller. That is a much smaller shock than this one, which was a smaller shock than that one, which was a smaller shock than that one. So it's a weird pattern that Bitcoin is doing, but it is up in this sell zone right now. So Navigator is holding bullish on the short term, on the 60-minute, but long term, of course, is still red. So it's just the same song. I don't have a new tune for you, unfortunately, but we're just getting closer and closer in that wedge. So sometime in the next couple of weeks, I think we're going to see something start to move. So just keep an eye on that. And let's wrap up with natural gas, which is now just sandwiched right between those two zones, the buy zone and the sell zone, and it's just stuck right in the middle. It has butted its head on the shorter term. You can see it more clearly. It's butted its head a couple of times against that sell zone. The 21 EMA is kind of catching up, and now natural gas is sort of riding that 21 EMA. But the Navigator on the short term is trending down, and Navigator on the longer term has suddenly done a hook reversal and is moving up. So conflicting signals right now. I feel that in the natural gas market right now is a wait and see time. This is not, in my opinion anyway, not a time to have an extreme conviction either direction. I couldn't see myself being a diehard bull or bear in natural gas right now. There are factors, i.e., namely the weather, that suggest bull, but there are technical factors on the charts that suggest a bear. If it gets stuck and can't get over this sell zone, then that is bearish, and it could certainly head lower. But again, it's just stuck in here right now. I mean, it's only been 2 days, so give it some time. Who knows? It may start to creep up into this sell zone, and maybe that sets up for a good short. Or maybe it's able to break above and hold, and then it sets up for a long breaking out of the recent ranges that it's been stuck in. But anyway, either way, right now it's a holding pattern. I see natural gas market as a wait and see which direction it wants to go, and then get on board in that direction. So that is the natural gas story at the moment. So that is my analysis for this morning, and let's see if the S&P has done it. Yeah, there's still nothing. It's just waiting. I can just tell. Everybody's waiting to see what's going to happen. I anticipate. I mean, we'll see. I could be wrong, but I anticipate this morning the open will be a little on the slow side, as everybody just waits. But then all of a sudden, I think sometime this morning we may see a sudden break, and things could get really interesting really fast. So anyway, again, take profits when you got them. Keep your stops reasonable, sensible, and just trade with caution, especially today, or stand aside. That's totally okay too. So that's the analysis for today. I'm Jonathan van Clute with Stock Navigators. As always, reminding you to please do subscribe to our channel and hit that little alarm bell if you'd like to be notified when I'm going live in the mornings and afternoons. And do leave us chat messages if you're here on the live chat when we're broadcasting, or if you're in the Discord room, definitely stop in, say hello. Love to chat with you throughout the day. And if there's anything you want us to tell you or show you or demonstrate or analyze or help you with, anything like that at all, leave it in comments or leave it in chat. Leave it somewhere. Probably comments is better because chat I'll only see while I'm broadcasting. But either come into the Discord room to talk or leave a comment on the video, and we'll be sure to check those comments out, and we will get back to you. We're doing this for you. So a little friendly reminder, there is going to be no afternoon close of market analysis today. I've got an appointment out of town, so I am not going to be able to be here for that. So we'll be skipping today's afternoon analysis, which is kind of a shame. I was looking forward to doing that to see just how the election played out, but it's just the way my schedule worked out. So we'll talk about it tomorrow, I'm sure, at tomorrow morning's analysis. So thanks for the note there, William. Anytime, happy to give you that analysis. I hope you find it helpful, and that's it for me. I'm going to get ready for my trading day ahead. So good trading, everybody. I hope you have a fantastic day, and we will talk again tomorrow. Take care.